Now today I'm going to be talking to you about one of the reasons as to why you may not be letting go of an issue or achieving your goals or dreams. That's right, today we're talking about one of the reasons as to why you may not be achieving your goals or dreams or letting go of certain issues in your life. And I'm talking about any issue here. It could be things like low self-esteem, it could be anxiety, worry, doubt, fears, phobias, limiting beliefs such as not being worthy or good enough, you name it. I'm talking about any issue that you may be experiencing, and also, as I said, why you may not be letting it go, because I'm sure you might be trying everything and having so much desire to let it go. So you may have read the self-development books, you may have listened to wonderful speakers or people who say they can help you let go of their issues, and you may even be seeing someone right now on a one-to-one level, but still keeping the issue that you wish to be free of. Now that's what I'm talking about today. I mean, imagine if you could suddenly and finally figure out exactly what has to happen in order to let go of your issue. You see, the way I consider issues are that deep down in some way, and this is going to sound very counterintuitive, but whatever the issue we're having, deep down, your unconscious mind is actually running it for a certain purpose. And I'll get to that in a minute. I mean, let's go straight down to the basics. If you could let go of this issue or issues, you would just click your fingers and you'd be free of it. But if you cannot let it go, it just means your unconscious mind is running the issue, because you've got your conscious mind and your unconscious mind. Now, one of the awesome things about your unconscious mind is that it runs, or a few things, it heals the body, it runs and maintains habits like driving, like walking, like even the things you do on a daily basis that you don't even think about. You just do it automatically. It's like second nature. If you do something for so long, it becomes second nature. So your unconscious mind is ultimately here to keep you safe, protect you, and do whatever it can to allow you to be safe and protected. I mean, that's really what it's here for. But with that, it can become an issue. And one of the reasons as to why you're still keeping your issue or still running the negative thought pattern, habit, behavior, or conflict. You see, your unconscious mind will be trying to keep this issue of yours for a certain intention. Now, you might be thinking, well, Joseph, why on earth would I have this anxiety and my unconscious mind run this anxiety for a good purpose? Or why would it run this fear or phobia or low self-esteem or worry, you fill in the blank, whatever it is? Why would my system, my unconscious mind, run this issue that I'm running for a positive purpose? Well, let me give you some perspective on this, because this is vitally important if you want to make that change. You see, when you created this problem in your life, I mean, I'm not saying you consciously created it, but for whatever reason, it came into your life. Now, you may have been under, it's usually two things. You're either under overwhelming amounts of stress, or you were very young when it was formed. Okay, so they're the two real big reasons as to why the issues are formed, or the certain times when they are formed. For example, I'd like to tell you a story about myself. When I was 11 years old, my teacher made me stand up in front of everyone, and I was pretty shy as it was, but I started to blush. I used to feel all the attention of all my peers. And then my teacher said, well, Joseph, what is the answer to this mathematic question? And I had no idea. I wasn't very good at school. I was shy and I just could not function. And then my teacher said this wonderful set of words, and she pretty much said this: Joseph, if you do not learn this type of subject or this material we're teaching today, you're never going to progress to the next level. Now, in that moment, having been under all this stress, having been under all this attention on me, not being very good at maths, and then my teacher saying that, my system made a decision that every time I'm in a similar situation to that. And remember that word, similar. Every time in a similar situation like this, it will fire off the fight and flight response. It will fire off the blushing, the worry, the anxiety, the fear to try to get me out of that situation. So every similar situation in the future, which was like that first event, my body would remember that and go, Joe, you did not like this in that situation. You didn't perform well. You hated it. I'm going to make sure I'm going to get you out of those situations by giving you a certain set of signals. So my body kept on running the blushing, the worrying, and it actually spread to different areas of my life, just general socializing or interviews, things which are similar but different, and my body kept on running the same program. Why did it do it? Well, it did not like that first situation. When I was very young, under stress, my body made a decision that any event like this, I'm going to do my best to get you out of this. So what's the positive intention there? Well, it's a protection mechanism. Now, if you think of a fearophobia, if you're having a fear or a phobia around something, say, for example, a fear of dogs or a fear of driving, what's the intention there? Well, your body maybe have had a one-time experience or a time or an association, or you learned somehow or even got the information wrong to think that all dogs were scary. So your system believes that to be true, so it will carry on running the fear as a way of protecting. So every similar situation like it, it will run the same program. Because at the time, maybe you were full of stress or you were very young, it made that decision for the best of intentions to try to protect you. Obviously, does it really protect you? Not so much, but to a point it does, because it gets you out of situations around dogs, but it can paralyze us at the same time. So the behavior is horrible, but the intention is actually positive. Does that make sense? I mean, think about the anxiety. When you think of anxiety, what do? We think of everything we do not want to happen in our life. Now, if we're thinking all the things we do not want, we start to get anxious and worried. Now, why would our brain think of all the things we do not want? Well, it's trying to prepare us. It's trying to protect us in case of the worst scenario happening. So it says, once again, it's this protection mechanism. Anxiety is trying to protect you of all the things which could happen. Does it really protect you? Not so much. But the intention, protection. Okay, so all I'm really saying here, behind any behavior that you're unhappy with, even things like smoking, why do we smoke? It could be comfort, it could be stress, it could be enjoyment. They're all positive intentions, but the behavior, not so much. So understanding that makes us, or it allows us to do something about it. Usually, we try to attack the issue, or we beat ourselves up. Why am I so anxious? I hate having this phobia. I hate this belief of not being good enough. All those things. We start to hate ourselves, which unfortunately separates ourselves from our own unconscious mind. So if you start to have self-hate to a behavior or problem, you're actually going to create more conflict within you. You're getting less rapport, you're getting more separation from the part of you actually trying to help you despite being completely misguided. So we want to be able to first stop the self-hate. We want to be able to reconnect instead. If your body and system, your unconscious mind, is running a certain behavior despite how bad it is for the positive intention of something like protection, like comfort, and all those things, we must re-educate our system rather than belittling it or getting angry. It's almost, take this as a metaphor. You come home from work and you say, for example, you have a child. If you don't have one, or if you do have a child, imagine this. You come home from work, you open the door, and your child's painted this most beautiful picture for you. And it's a beautiful picture. It just so happens to be on your brand new painted wall. Now, the intention of that child was actually good, wanting to draw a picture for you. However, putting that paint on the wall, behavior not so good. There's a mismatch there. But the child is trying to do that. So you would not shout at that child and belittle it and get angry and curse at it and hate upon that child. You would re-educate the child. You would say, I love the picture, but how about putting it, or love the painting, but how about put it on a piece of paper, and so on. You re-educate the child. We have to do the exact same thing when it comes to our system. Rather than self-hatred for the issue, we have to reconnect. We realize that it's trying to protect us. So it's almost like going on the inside. And this is why hypnosis really is profound. And also just my, for example, the coaching audios or audio courses and so on. They're great because we're pre-teaching our unconscious mind. We're re-educating it to get better and better and better. So a quick, simple tip for you is every night as you go to sleep, you spend 5 or 10 minutes going on the inside, just closing your eyes and explaining as to why it's important to be free of this issue in the positive. Okay, so it's almost like you're saying to your unconscious mind, speaking to my unconscious mind, I want you to realize that this blushing or this fear, whatever the issue is, so whatever, so in other words, saying, speaking to you, the unconscious mind, X is actually not protecting me, or it's not allowing to be satisfied what it's trying to do. So if it was a fearophobia, we're saying protection there. If we're saying about comfort eating, we can say, speaking to the unconscious mind, this comfort eating is not really giving me the real comfort. So what I like you, the unconscious mind, to do is keep the comfort or keep the safety or whatever it is, but actually act and react in this way. So you begin to think in your mind how you'd like to be different while still honoring its first values of protection or comfort or whatever it is. So what we're really doing here is we're offering up a new solution or a new strategy to our system. It's going to keep on running the same issue for so long until you give it another example or another strategy of how it can be different while still fulfilling the first intention, like the safety and so on. So we have to offer that up to the unconscious mind. And the best way to do it is, I believe, listening to hypnosis, doing coaching audios and so on, or just going on the inside and just reconnecting with yourself. We've been programmed so much by society, by experience, that we forget about going back on the inside and connecting with ourselves. So what I want you to do is actually cut out from the outside, put your attention on the inside world of you and re-educate your unconscious mind. It's always trying to protect us. It just needs the education. So thank it for what it's trying to do. That rebuilds rapport. But then offer it a new way of doing it. So if it's safety, see yourself being safe without the fear of phobia. If it's about being safe and planning when it comes to anxiety, thank it for trying to keep you safe by being anxious, but ask it to be safe and also put your attention on what and how you want your life to go or that situation to go. So we're almost saying to that child once again, I love the picture, I love what you're trying to do, my unconscious mind, but go ahead and put that paint onto a piece of paper. Or unconscious mind, I love what you're trying to do, keeping me safe and so on, but I want you to be able to direct it in this way. Now, I'm not going to say this happens in an instant and like the whole issue would disappear, but what I am saying is if you do this consistently for the next few days, a week, even a month for 5 minutes a day, that's all, 5 minutes a day, you'll make significant changes because you're reconnecting with yourself. People have issues because they're out of rapport with their system. Like your unconscious mind's going one way, but you want to go another. We have to get back into that alignment. And the only way we do that is going on the inside and re-educating our system. That's what I think is going to be really powerful for you. So that is the reason as to why you may be keeping your issue, and also how you can re-educate your unconscious mind to get back on track, keep the safety or keep the positive intention with a new exciting way of being in this world. So I hope you enjoyed that. I wish you a wonderful day, and go ahead and subscribe on YouTube if you're watching on YouTube, or go ahead and leave a comment, and I look forward to speaking to you very, very soon. Many thanks and goodbye.